So today we're doing a program called Kart Start where anybody from the age of 10 and up can come and try our go-karts.
That was me quite a few years ago at about 12 years old on Motoring TV for my first time ever doing a story on Russ Bond's Kart Start. And here I am today hosting Motoring TV. And you're asking, what's up? Where's Brad? Kia is unveiling its new Soul in Toronto and it's aimed at a younger customer. Remember the hamsters? Well, Brad, although always young at heart, figured it would be a good idea to have a young perspective on this new 2020 Kia Soul. So here I am.
We are part of that boxy movement. You know, there was a time 10 years ago at Soul's 10th anniversary in the marketplace, third generation, and we were part of that boxy movement, and we have longevity, man. We're still here. Everyone else is gone.
Getting to do events like this where you kind of get a chance to drive the car that's, first of all, not yours, and also in an environment that's safe is a really good turning point for when you're looking into a car, because you get to see how it drives and sort of really experience the full potential of the car before you have to make that final purchase on the road. And it's also an experience you don't really get to have on the road. It's one that you can kind of get in a safe environment and have a lot of fun doing so, and also figure out your limits as well as the cars.
Our 2-liter NPI engine paired with our intelligent variable transmission, so the same setup that we have inside of our Forte that was just recently launched at the end of last year. 147 horsepower, 132 pound-feet of torque. Very responsive off the line, but sips fuel at the same time as well, so you're getting that good fuel economy with a good power balance as well.
The first thing I noticed the second I hopped into it was that the steering was really light, which is quite nice actually, especially considering this car is made for around town, sort of in the city area where you're doing a lot of tight turns quickly and things like that. It also comes off the corners really well, which is really nice. It doesn't have the highest top speed out there, but it doesn't really need it. It's a car for in the town, and it does its job well. It stops really well. Like I would say within 20 feet from about 50, it'll stop dead, and that's without squealing the tires. So it's good to know that if you really needed to, you could stop quite short.
No manual transmission, as you kind of see from most markets and most demographics and most segments. There's not many manual transmissions that are hanging around anymore, but we do have our Sportmatic automatic shift mode, so you can slide the shifter over and still manage the simulated 8-speed automatic transmission as if it was a manual transmission, so it still gives you a little bit of that manual transmission feel. And at this time, turbo engine is not part of the powertrain lineup, but it doesn't mean that if there isn't enough market demand that we might consider bringing it in at a later date as well.
It's fully integrated with technology, the phone integration, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, big 10.25-inch screen. You can stream your music. We've got the funky music mood lighting that happens in the speakers. So there's a ton of personality in there for the people that are young at heart, literally or figuratively.
So one of the things they've been talking about a lot today is the entertainment system in this car. It's got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and it even has mood lighting to go with your music. Personally, I think all that's great, but really, just focus on the road, get where you need to go, and deal with the phone and the distractions later. I don't want to suggest a recall, but this car's made for 3 people back here. And when you fold these seats down, you actually eliminate the seatbelt for this passenger. We had these seats down for some camera gear, and our cameraman came in here to grab his seatbelt and put it on. He grabbed his seatbelt and went to put it into the buckle, but it didn't click in. He had the center buckle, so his first thought was, okay, where's my buckle? He lifted up the seat and found his buckle right there, and it clicks in just fine. The problem is, you can't get at this buckle with the seat down. So once the seat's down, the buckle's covered, and you can't do up your seatbelt. Basically what they've done, they've swapped these two around. So the center is on the passenger side, and the passenger side is on the center's buckle, so the buckles don't go together.
When we take a look at our volume, you know, in a very practical way, we kind of look at that 80-20 rule, and Soul is one of those core models, as we call it. You know, it's in our top 4. So every month we're looking at this vehicle to deliver volume for us, and it does.
Russ Bond is the owner of Kart Start, which is a great program. He runs a racing series for kids in go-karts, and he does a TV show, which I'm on right now.
I never thought back then that I would actually get to host Motoring TV, but it's been an absolute blast hanging with everyone. As for the Kia Soul, I think it's an improvement over last year's model, but I think a lot of people are still missing that manual transmission. The reality is, this car is geared towards the younger generation, and unfortunately, most kids my age don't know how to drive a manual anymore. I only learned last year, and if you haven't tried it yet, give it a shot, you'll love it.